Hello everyone and welcome to another game of Squirrels Baseball. We are in Cincinnati to take on the Reds. We are coming off the off day, so let me get the subs in here. Alright, I think that looks like our normal reserve lineup, or, at least 1 out of 2. Alright, there is Great American Ballpark. Looks to be the same lineup that we have been seeing out of the Reds this year. The Reds, I really thought they were going to be probably the National League wild card, but as it's turned out, the Cardinals have got well, it was a healthier lead. I think now it's down to 1 or 2 games. So Cincinnati definitely still in the mix, but Cardinals have been pretty consistently ahead of them most of the year. Now as we're getting down to a little under 2 months left, to get a little more serious now. Kester's going to lead things off today, and he will look at that pitch inside from Jordan Tata. That one bounces in. That'll make it 2-0. There's the first strike of the ball game. Another called strike makes it 2-2. This will roll through the right side of the infield for a leadoff single. Here comes Sweeney to the plate. Seems like this could be the kind of park where Sweeney actually gets one out of here. He used to hit more home runs than he has over the last couple seasons, though. I mean, it feels like probably half of his career home runs have come at Wrigley Field. But he didn't hit one there this year. I don't know if we have another trip to Chicago or not this year. He'll strike out in this at-bat, and that will bring Chief to the plate. 1 on, 1 out. Chief has been hitting a little better as of late. Still hasn't gotten the average back up to the 400s yet. Although things like that will help. That'll land out into right field. Puts runners on first and second with only 1 out for Quinton, who will bat left-handed. Unlike Marvin, I don't really know which side is his better one. This will not get down. Encarnacion makes a fairly nice play there, although it wasn't hit quite as hard as I thought it would be. 2 on with 2 outs. Zach probably needs a hit to open up the scoring here. This will not do the trick. Encarnacion again makes a play on a line drive. Squirrels come close but do not score. Shao will lead things off for the Reds in the bottom half of the inning. See the lineup that we came up with today. Gill on the mound. First pitch, a curveball in there for strike 1. Grounds this one off to second. Phil to first. 1 away. So here's Norris Hopper, who I feel like has had a better year than normal against us this year. Don't know if that's true overall, and maybe it's just vibes. Maybe it's not as true as I think it is, but it feels like he's gotten more hits than usual this year against us. He fouls that pitch away. That will make it a 1-2 count. He will foul this one off as well. Still 1-2. Pitch up and out. Hopper does not chase. Doesn't chase that sinker either. Makes it a full count. Curveball out of the zone. That will be the Reds' first base runner. Brings Derek Lee to the plate. 1 on with 1 out. That curveball's a strike. As is that fastball, 0-2. Swings over a sinker. That's the second out of the inning. So here's Adam Dunn, who has had a great year. I think we have mostly kept him in check. But we'll see in this at-bat, he's quickly down 0-2. He looks at strike 3. The Squirrels get out of the inning. Gill gives up a walk, but nothing else. We go to the second inning, where Miyake will lead things off for Indianapolis.
Number 22, Miyake, center fielder.
First pitch bounces in. And there's a swing and a miss. Makes it 1-1. Another called strike will make it 1-2. Line drive, it's going to hook foul. Bounces kind of hard off that right field wall. Doesn't chase that fastball. That evens the count at 2 apiece. Fouled away over into the Squirrels' dugout. At least off the fencing. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. One down. Here's Martinez. I think I've mentioned it before, is having his most successful offensive season of his career, hitting over 250. That will not do the trick. Phillips picks that one up and gets it over for the second out of the inning. So here's Phil, who's hitting about like he normally does, just under 200. Looks at a strike. It's the reason he started our first season at second base, if you go back and watch, but Kester started every other season, and that is exactly why. He grounds out to short, so we still have a scoreless game as we go into the bottom of the second inning. Edwin Encarnacion will lead things off. First pitch bounces in. There's a called strike to make it 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Swing and a miss again for strike 3. Here's Brandon Phillips. One away with the bases empty. High fastball gets called a strike. Another high fastball is fouled away over towards the Reds' dugout. 0-2. Curveball gets a swing and a miss for strike 3. 2 down. Here's Eric Ibar. He'll look at strike 1. This one put into center field. Miyake gets there. Not quite as comfortably as I thought he would, but he did get there. So we're scoreless as we move into the third inning. Gill is going to lead it off at the plate.
Number 21, Gill, pitcher.
Gill most definitely in there to pitch. As is the case with all of our pitchers, none of them hit that well. He pops out into foul ground. David Ross is the one to make the play up the third base line. Kester got a base hit in his first at-bat. Tata struck out 2 Squirrels the first time through. Kester with a 1-1 count at the moment. He'll ground this off shortstop for the second out of the inning. That'll bring Sweeney to the plate. He was one of those strikeouts. Looks at strike 1 here on an elevated fastball. Hits this one foul. Line drive out into left center field. That's going to roll all the way to the wall. Well, I guess Chow got there just before it could hit the wall, but either way, it's a 1-out double for Sweeney. Solid line drive shot right there by the bullpen. I imagine that's the Squirrels' bullpen. Here's Chief, runner on second with 2 outs. Did get a base hit his first time up. Looks at strike 1, and this pitch runs up and in. Will this stay fair? It does, right on the line out in left field. That'll drive in the first run of the ball game. An RBI double makes it 1-0 Squirrels. Quinton at the plate now with the runner still in scoring position. There are 2 outs. Quinton looks at strike 1. Looks at strike 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Well, we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Squirrels now leading 1-0. David Ross will lead things off for Cincinnati.
Number 26, David Ross, catcher.
Ross well ahead of that curveball. That fastball sails a bit too high. And Ross ahead of that fastball as well. Sounds like he needs to calm his nerves just a tad. As he is ahead again on that fastball for strike 3. So here's Jordan Tata hitting .244 this year. As he will look at strike 1. Looks at strike 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. All right, 2 away. Shao at the plate. Looks at strike 1. Gill struck out 6 Reds the first time through their lineup. Only 1 base runner on a walk. Shao currently has a 1-2 count. He will go down swinging to end the bottom of the 3rd. We move into the 4th. Squirrels still leading 1-0, and they will have Zach at the plate to start things off.
Number 31, Williams.
First pitch is in there for strike 1. Fouled away. That'll make it 0-2. Looks at strike 3. 1 down. Here comes Miyake. Struck out in his first at-bat. Tate has already doubled his strikeout output, striking out another 2 Squirrels in this second go-around. We're only to batter number 6 as Miyake puts that out into left center field. He's trying for a double, and he will make it there. So here's Martinez with the runner in scoring position. So that fastball sails on Tata. That one a little low, but Martinez hit it anyway. Derek Lee picks it up, steps on first. It does move Miyake to 3rd base. Phil with 2 outs, a chance to drive in the second run of the ball game. So he watches that fastball low. There's a called strike. Ground ball to 2nd, and the Reds are out of the inning. We go to the bottom half of the 4th. Squirrels still up 1-0. Norris Hopper will lead things off for the Reds. Hopper drew the walk his first time up. Looks at strike 1 to start this at-bat. That slider is a bit too low. Curveball gets swung at, but comes up empty. 1-2. High hop to 3rd. Chief on to 1st. 2 away. Or sorry, 1 out. 1 out. He was the leadoff batter. All right, here's Derek Lee. Every Red has now been retired at least once today. As Lee looks at strike 1. That sinker bounces in. Swing and a miss for strike 2. This one up and in. It's 2-2 count. Ground ball to short. Kester on to 1st. 2 away. And that will bring Adam Dunn to the plate. Nobody on base, but Dunn is always dangerous as he looks at strike 1. And right on cue, this game is tied. That's the Reds' first hit of the ball game. It's Adam Dunn's 25th home run of the year, a 387-foot line drive out into left center. And there you go, 1-1. So here's Edwin Encarnacion. 2 away, bases empty. Looks at strike 1. Looks at strike 2. This is, I think, going to hook foul. Yes, it does. Not by a lot. Keeps it an 0-2 count, though. Gill gets him to foul this one off as well. I'm not sure that curveball did, but it was supposed to, but it worked out as Encarnacion swung over the top of it. We'll move into the 5th inning. It's a 1-1 ball game now, thanks to Adam Dunn. And Gill is set to lead things off here in the 5th.
Number 21, Gill.
He fouled out in his first at-bat, so just a little bit up the third base line. So he looks at strike 1 here. This one a little bit too high. Hits a ground ball right to Phillips for the first out of the inning. Squirrels will start their third go-around. Kester is 1 for 2 on the day. Tata has struck out 2 Squirrels both times through their order, though I do think they were different Squirrels each time. Kester has an 0-2 count right now. You will watch that curveball bounce to make it 1-2. Excuse me, a called strike 3 brings Sweeney to the plate. He is 1 for 2 today, so he looks at strike 1. Looks at strike 2. Chases that one for strike 3. That'll end the inning. Back-to-back strikeouts by Jordan Tata. We go to the bottom of the 5th, tied at 1. Brandon Phillips will start things off for the Reds. Gill starts him off with a attempted backdoor curve. It didn't quite make it back to the plate. This is popped up, but it will make the seats. 1-1. Curveball too far inside. Phillips did not brush back though, stood his ground. Swings at that slider to make it 2-2. Blows a fastball by for strike 3. Here's Eric Ibar. Credited with a flyout. That might have been the one to center field that Miyake made it a little closer than I thought he needed to. Grounds this one to first, and it's just foul. 0-2 still. I don't know if that's a still, but now it's definitely 0-2 still. That will be a bloop towards Phil, who does make the catch. 2 down. Here's David Ross. First pitch too far inside. He does brush back. That will be a base hit into right field. Puts a runner on with 2 outs and the pitcher spot coming up. They are going to let Tata hit. So he looks at strike 1. So with his pitching line and the game still being somewhat early, don't necessarily blame them for keeping him in. Tata has a 2-2 count at the moment. He will go down swinging to end the 5th inning. 1-1 as we move into the 6th. Indianapolis will start off with Chief at the plate. Chief is 2 for 2 as he looks at strike 1. Hits this one just foul down the first base line. 0-2. Looks at strike 3. 1 away. Here's Quinton. He is 0 for 2. A line out and a strikeout. Grounds this one to first, but it does get foul. Line drive into right. This will stay right down the line and dribble down into the corner. Quinton will walk in with a one-out double. All right, Zach at the plate. Runner in scoring position with one out as he takes a fastball for a strike. Hits this one, and it will get through the right-hand side. Quinton, though, stops at third. Probably a good decision. Leaves runners on the corners for Miyake. There's only one out, so he really just has to get the ball to the outfield. First pitch is down and in. Second pitch is a line drive right up the middle. That will score another Squirrels run. They now lead 2-1. It may not be done yet. Here's Martinez with 2 on and only 1 out. Martinez looks at that curveball, catch the inside corner. That one is down and away. Here's a called strike, then a swinging strike for the second out of the inning. So here's Phil, 2 on with 2 outs. Now it's likely going to take a base hit as he looks at strike 1. Looks at strike 2. And this is fouled away. Tata starting to wipe his brow. Throws in strike 3. That ends the top of the 6th. Squirrels now leading 2-1. And they will have Shao, or the Reds will have Shao coming to lead off things in the bottom of the 6th inning. Shao for 2, a ground out and a strikeout. Gill up to 10 strikeouts already as we start this inning. Fires in a fastball for a strike. This one hit to short. Kester makes the catch. 1 away. Here's Hopper. He has walked and ground out so far as he takes strike 1. Oh, it fouled down the left field line. Keeps it 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 down. Here's Derek Lee. He struck out and ground out so far. That pitch is down and in. There's a called strike. Looks at strike 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Gill strikes out 12 out of 18 outs. Not too shabby. We go to the 7th. We will go ahead and pinch hit. He's given us his good 6. Tata stays out there for the time being. We do have a lead, so Marvin gets to hit. All right, first pitch to the left-handed hitting Marvin at the moment is up and out for ball 1. Line drive, that goes out into left center field for, well, I thought a single, but he does stretch it successfully into a double. Kind of thought Marvin was going to be dead meat there, but he does make it in there safely. All right, a leadoff runner on to scoring position. Kester at the plate already does have a hit today as he looks at strike 1. Hits this one foul to make it 0-2. And now it's showing bunt, pulls it back, and it is inside. Now he's going to swing away as he should, and he will get it down. No, Encarnacion knocked it down. That's going to go down as an error. That seems harsh.
Your attention, please. Now we have to pick the Reds. Number 15.
Especially because I think he ended up saving a run with that. So Jeff Karstens is going to take over on the mound. Sweeney at the plate does have a double sandwiched between a couple strikeouts. There's nobody out yet in this inning. First pitch is called a strike. Second pitch is not real close. Misses on that curveball to make it 1-2. Hits this one into center field, and here comes another run. Throw going home, but it's not going to be in time. 3-1 Squirrels. Still nobody retired in this inning, and there are still 2 runners on. Chief takes strike 1. Pops this one up. Ross waits for it and makes the catch. So that'll bring Quinton to the plate. Got a double in his last stab at. He looks at strike 1. Couple of swings and misses will be the second out of the inning. So here's Zach. 2 still aboard, but now with 2 outs. He swings and misses at a curveball. Hits this one into left. Dunn will have this one. 7th inning stretch time. Squirrels leading 3-1. Adam Dunn will lead things off on the other side. Volume reset. Gil was pitching, so Gonzalez will come in to handle, as of right now, just 1 inning. All right, Dunn hit the home run. That's counted for the only Reds run of the game. He looks at strike 1. Looks at strike 2. Looks at strike 3. 1 away. Here's Edwin Encarnacion. He has struck out in both at-bats so far. So that changeup misses, I presume low. High hop. Chief has to wait on it. Makes the throw, and it is in time. Close play over there. We'll actually get to see how close. Maybe a half a step. Oh, maybe less than that. I do think he did beat him out there, so some good call. So here's Brandon Phillips, who has struck out in both at-bats so far. He will look at strike 1. Swings and misses to make it 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Well, we move into the 8th inning. Pretty quick 7th. Miyake will lead things off for Indianapolis. They still lead 3-1. Miyake is 2 for 3 today. He swings and misses at the first pitch. Hits one through the middle of the infield. He will stop at first for a leadoff single. Here's Martinez, who is hitless today. That pitch runs outside. Check over on first. Fouled off to make it 1-1. Looks at strike 2. Swings and misses, strike 3. 1 down, here is Phil. He's 0 for 3 so far. Looks at strike 1. Swing and a miss to make it 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 away, a runner still on first. Sorry, my throat is going quickly here. I don't know what's going on. I did finish all I had to drink back here. That probably would help. Tom's going to come pinch hit here. First pitch to Tom is outside. He's going to put this one into shallow left center. That'll fall in for a hit. Throw going to third, and Miyake is called safe. It was a very close play. But runners on the corners for Kester. There are 2 outs. First pitch is in there for strike 1. Swing and a miss to make it 0-2. Ground ball, a little bit of a high hop for Encarnacion, but he will get the throw there in time. Saves a run with that out. So that will bring us to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's a 3-1 Squirrels lead. Cincinnati will start off with Ibar at the plate. All right, Hermida will come onto the mound for the setup inning. Ibar 0 for 2 on the day. Looks at strike 1. Grounds this one off to Sweeney. Can he catch up there? No. That's going to be an infield hit. There was nobody to cover first, and Ibar just outran Sweeney to the plate. Pickles is going to come in to pinch run, and he immediately takes off for second and is safe. Picked the right pitch to run on. David Ross swung at that and missed. And then looks at strike 2 to make it 0-2. Fastball is inside. 1-2. Popped up to center field. Miyake waiting for it. Runner not tagging. 1 away. We get a pinch hitter here for Karstens. Here's Jose Bautista. I think this is before he really discovered his power stroke. I'll tell you, never hit like that in Indianapolis. Looks at strike 1. Looks at strike 2. That one bounces in. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 down, it's up to Shao to drive in this run. Gets a fastball, but misses it. Curveball, not in the zone. There's a fastball over the plate for strike 2. Curveball gets the swing and a miss, and that will end the 8th inning. We go to the 9th. Squirrels currently up by 2. They will start off with Sweeney at the plate.
Your attention, please. Now coming up to pitch for the Reds, number 48,
John Reinecker is going to try to keep things where they are. Give Cincinnati at least a shot, especially given how erratic Shibuya's been as of late. Sweeney 2 for 4. Though if he's following the pattern so far this game, he's going to strike out here. He's got an 0-2 count. That one stays high. Ground ball onto second. Not a strikeout, but it is the first out of the inning. Chief is 2 for 4 today. Got his 2 hits early. He looks at a ball high. Hits this one. That's going to hook foul down the right field line. 1-1. This one is called a strike. High hop. Reinecker will drop it, and that will allow Chief to reach first. They charge him with an error, and that is the rare time I think I agree with putting an error on a pitcher. He's trying to throw it before he could catch it. So that'll bring Quinton to the plate, his first right-handed at-bat. It's got a 1-1 count to start. Make it 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Here's Zach, he's 1 for 4. So he will look at strike 1. Looks at strike 2. Pitch too low. Zach lets it go by. Lets that one go by, but that one is strike 3. So we'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Squirrels up by 2. The Reds will start off with Hopper at the plate. Alright, we'll go get Shibuya. Like I said, it has been a struggle as of late. Actually did blow his last save, but then the offense came back in the bottom half of the inning to win it. I think he gave up 3 runs to make that happen. So can't give up 3 runs here. Hopper, hitless today, 0 for 2. He did draw a walk. Looks at a ball low. Swings over that one. Does not swing at that one. 2-1. Swing and a miss again. Makes it 2-2. Ground ball to second. Phil makes that play. 1 away. So here comes Derek Lee. He's 0 for 3 today. Looks at strike 1. Into center field, Miyake coming in. He's not going to make it there. That will drop in for a base hit and brings the tying run to the plate in the form of who else? Adam Dunn. He has struck out twice, but homered in the middle of those. Thankfully for us, it was a solo shot. He's got a 2-0 count right now. Walking him is not the end of the world, though they did get that one over the strike zone. This one was not. It's a 3-1 count. Into right field, but very catchable. And Zach does indeed catch it. So runner on first still with 2 outs. Edwin Encarnacion is 0 for 3 today. 2 strikeouts and a ground out as he watches that pitch go high. Foul back. That will make it 1-1. Little bloop behind second. Phil is able to get back there and make the play. Your final score today, Indianapolis Squirrels 3, Cincinnati Reds 1. Take a look at the highlights. All right, Miyake is going to be your player of the game. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you want to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, feel very free. Otherwise, we'll be back tomorrow, back here in Cincinnati. We'll see you then.